Paramshanti. This is a conversation between Bapuji and Anantji about the amazing world of spirits and ghosts. Anantji says, Paramshanti Bapuji, today we will be covering a very interesting topic. I have been spending a considerable amount of time in researching on such topics. I would have made videos on this a long time back, but I was doing research on the spirit world. Today, the topic will be the ghost world exposed, occult science. It was on the top of my list to know about this subject from the beginning. Many viewers might not know that you are my father, and I was always privileged since my childhood to know such knowledge and about such incidents through your sharing of this knowledge. I keep searching about the ghost world on YouTube. I have a lot of curiosity to know about this, but never recorded any discussion on this. I think the time has come. The people should know the reality of the spirits. I would like to give you a brief about my research. There are 4 to 5 people I would like to name who have an influential personality, like T.B. Joshua and Bob Larson. I have referred about them many times in our videos. If we talk about someone from our country, India, there is one YouTube channel with the name Babaji Bhoot in which Khan Baba does such practices. I would like to share with our viewers that Bapuji does not at all practice such activities. Despite that, we get many calls and inquiries of those suffering from the spirits and ghost acquisitions, but Bapuji is strictly not involved in such things. He is very spiritual and his goal is to change the whole world. With the means of this video, I want to alert people to be cautious of getting trapped or coming into connection with wrong people. Have self-realization, understand the power and the energy of one's own self, and understand the law of karmic bondages. There are many good deep references of this in our ancient Indian scriptures. We would now like to ask Bapuji, in your opinion, since when has the ghost and spirits world been in existence? How long have they been in existence? How far do they have their influence? Do they have an influence on our solar systems, galaxies, universes, or till the great universes? Do they have an existence in the visible world? Where can these souls reach till? We call the souls who don't have bodies spirits. Even science proclaims that the energy which is unexplainable is called a ghost. Bapuji replies, coming to your first question, where does the spirit and ghost world exist? Now, the human form exists everywhere in the solar system. We call the solar system a Brahmand. Every multiverse has uncountable universes. Every universe has uncountable galaxies. And every galaxy has uncountable solar systems. Every solar system has human life. So for the question, when humans die, what do they become after they die? Well, there is a video we have made on this subject called Life After Death. Anantji says, yes, it is a famous video. Bapuji replies, life after death means when a person dies. What happens to the soul of the deceased person? A person lives in ignorance and leads a life like animals do, sustaining their life only for common necessities. When a person dies, their body is finished and dissolved or buried, but the soul is eternal, immortal, and infinite, irrespective of the human's religion or caste. It doesn't finish the existence of the soul, so where will it go? As per the theory of karma, if the person has done a lot of sins during the time they were living, then as a ghost, either they will be wandering in their own home, or maximum they will go till the temples or place of worship of their religion where they used to go when they were alive. The ghosts and spirits are also scared of humans. The ghost world is not restricted to this physical world. So why do souls become ghosts when they leave their body? There are different types of spirits. They have different hierarchies. There is a difference between a ghost and a phantom. There are different types of ghosts. When the person dies, their subtle body comes out of their physical body. Either their body is burned or buried, and 2 of their elements of the body gets dissolved. The 2 elements of water and earth are dissolved. The body then becomes astral or subtle. It is also called as an etheric body. There are different names and terms given, but the body is made of three elements: ether, wind, and fire. When the soul's sins accumulate from many past births, their etheric body becomes heavy, which are the elements forming the layers on their soul. This is because the human has acquired no knowledge and enlightenment during their life and is full of emotions and attachments. Therefore, even after death, they will dwell in their family matters by coming into their dreams, indicating their presence. They will then insist to their relatives and family to let them stay there in their home and to feed them. Anantji says, Bapuji, I would like to add here that it is found that in 90% of cases, the priests have started their temples due to being shown a dream in their sleep in which they were told to start the temple of a specific god or goddess. Bapuji replies, usually it is found that in the old temples, the person was shown a vision by the specific god or goddess during their sleep at night. That deity would come to them and would ask them to make their temple, feed them, and worship them. They would tell them that they are their family deity, and if they wouldn't comply, they would bother them until they make the temple. I have seen many examples of this. There was one distant relative of mine. She left behind 2 children and died. The children were small, and the soul had strong attachments with them. Therefore, she used to wander as a ghost at the home. She was my aunt. When my uncle got married to another female, my deceased aunt used to create problems for her. She would possess her husband and beat the new wife through him in order to throw her out of the home. Whether people believe it or not, I have experienced it practically in my life. The reason I have experienced all this is because my mother was an avatar of Devi Jogini, a deity. I have shared this in one of my books called Our Alien Connection. So the spirit of Jogini Devi used to come in my mother, and before that, she used to come into my grandma. That spirit of the deity in the body of my mother would predict and tell us what would happen in their future. She was a nice deity. Therefore, there are good deities or devis. There are also spirits and ghosts who have lived their entire life like an animal does, in eating, drinking, and sleeping. So people like this, after they die, they live as ghosts, either in their homes or in their place of worship, who are sitting in religious places. It is definitely not only human beings, and this goes for any and all religious places. Anantji says, yes, Bapuji, this is very true. T.B. Joshua of Nigeria does exorcisms in the churches, and so does Bob Larson. Bapuji replies, I don't want to name the religious places, it may hurt sentiments of someone, but in all religious places, ghosts or spirits reside there. Anantji says, Bapuji, in the Tirupati Balaji temple, people who are under the control of spirits go there to free themselves from the spirits controlling their body. It is believed and said that within 3 kilometers of the radius of the temple, if one enters the border, the person who is possessed by spirits in their body will be rid of it upon entering the temple. That is very much true and correct. There is nothing wrong with what you are saying. Every religious home, irrespective of any religion, have spirits and ghosts present there. If a human possessed by a ghost enters the border of the temple, the ghost or the spirits present at that temple find out about the spirit possessing that human being, and they light rays on them and throw them out of the human body and make them their slave. In the spirit world, spirits control or make a slave of other spirits. This is happening in many religious places. I can see all this when I go into my deep state of meditation. I have divine vision through my third eye and see this at many religious places. I have also vision of the subtle world. When you go beyond Swarglok or heaven, there is Mahalok and Janlok where there are an immense amount of sages there. There are religious places in the subtle world as well. We call the ones that reside there as divine souls. They also incarnate on the earth. All the religious gurus dwell in their own layers of dimensions. They have several followers with them. They have descended down on the earth and laid the foundation of their religion. Who does religion conversion? Today there are so many conversions of religion happening all around the world in different ways. It is done by threat or done due to reasons of helplessness. Hundreds of souls go behind human beings of different religions, and they send them rays or thoughts of inspiration to convert and force them to follow their religion. Therefore, the subtle world is very big and unimaginable. It is difficult to judge the situations there. Anantji says, Bapuji, as you said, that the souls of Janlok and Taplok can reach up to the higher dimensions. But what about the souls of the spirits who are earthbound? The spirits and these types of ghosts cannot go beyond the gravity of the earth. These souls are sinful. Therefore, their three elemental body is very heavy. They cannot cross the gravity of earth and go above 200 kilometers. They wander within the periphery of 200 kilometers. Some spirits have a fast speed of traveling from one place to another, and some have less speed. The more the soul is sinful and is loaded with sins, their subtle body will be heavier, and therefore the elements of their subtle body will be heavy. Ether, air, and fire are the three elements, and the air element is the heaviest of all. The more it is heavier, the less speed they have in traveling. Some spirits or souls can travel at a faster pace. Some can travel within the speed of a second. Some spirits are helpful and some are harmful. So, Bapuji, can we say that the dimensions that are described in our Indian scriptures, which are 7 dimensions above the earth and the 7 below the earth, are occupied of ghosts and spirits? Bapuji replies, the 7 dimensions that are described below our earth, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Mahatal, Talatal, Rasatal, and Patal-lok, are 10,000 yojana, or measurement of units in ancient scriptures from each other. These 7 lower dimensions are not hell. There were separate 54 crore hells. For example, King Bali was the king of Sutal-lok. The 7 dimensions below the earth were occupied of the heavy creations of the human race. To understand better, the human beings have 5 elemental bodies, and in Patal-lok, the 5 elements of the human beings are very heavy. Naglok is another dimension that is often referred, and like this, there are many dimensions. Below these dimensions, there were 55 crore hells. The highly sinner souls gradually descended to lower levels or dimensions. Today, our topic is ghosts and spirits. The souls that went to hell were once the souls of deities that fell and lost their soul power. Anantji says, Bapuji, so all religious places like temples, churches, gurudwaras, mosques do the activities of exorcism. So that means every place has an existence of such spirits and ghosts. So does that mean that such souls exist everywhere? Bapuji replies, first of all, such souls will not be called as souls. They will be called as spirits and ghosts. And those living in Janlok, Taplok, or in the other higher dimensions would be called as souls. The beings that have the knowledge of the Supreme Soul are called souls. The useless and lower dimensional souls are called spirits and ghosts. Where will these souls go? They have only seen the way to their usual place of worship, which they used to go to while they were living. Therefore, where else will they go after death? It is said, Antmati Sogati, which means that when a human being leaves their body, they will go where they think of in their last moment. If the human has only went from their home to a temple, and went from their temple to their home most of their life, and know nothing outside of that, then that is where they will choose to stay even after death. Or they will stay and wander around their relatives in their home. They may go to other places that are familiar to them. When people go to temples, they don't realize these things, and the spirits possess their body. There is a situation that happened with one of my relatives. He used to go to a temple. I don't want to name the temple here, otherwise people will get offended. It is a magnificent and renowned temple. The spirit entered into his wife, and his wife fell to the floor and started suffering in pain. He called me on the phone immediately and told me that he thinks some spirit has taken over her body. What was the end result? More than one spirit entered into her body. She went crazy and mad and was taken to the mental hospital. In the end, she got divorced. So how can a person go mentally sick overnight? It is due to the possession of ghosts. Well, such people that are possessed by many spirits speak different things at different times. They can be possessed by 2 to 3 spirits at once. Therefore, they end up speaking different things at different times. I have seen it many times in front of me. I can see if there is any spirit possessing a human body. Anantji says, Bapuji, what you are saying is the supreme truth. When I saw a YouTube channel of Babaji Bhoot on YouTube, who claims to free the human body from spirits and ghosts, I understood the magnitude of all of this that is happening. He has uploaded more than 600 videos of such people suffering from ghosts that are coming to him from all over the globe. But I didn't understand one thing. He proclaims that we send the spirits to another dimension, or they finish the existence of the spirits. Bapuji replies, who can give deliverance to the spirits? When I go in my deep meditational state and see the world above to 400 kilometers from the earth, I see that there are many spirits and ghosts staying there who are like demons and are negative. They control many spirits on the earth, and through them they perform the activities like exorcism, which is prevailing these days. These exorcists have control over 50 to 100 spirits that do such activities. After that, the spirits are absorbed by the spirits who are staying above the gravity of Earth's 200 kilometers. But it is very difficult to finish the existence of the soul. Who can liberate or end the existence? Those who have supreme ether element can liberate them. One who has a supreme elemental body can dilute or liberate such spirits, leading them to salvation. To bring an end to the existence of the soul or diluting the soul means giving salvation. A soul can be given salvation only by those who have a supreme elemental body. Here on earth, nobody has a supreme divine body. If one wants to attain a supreme divine elemental body, they need to reach the supreme abode. Besides the supreme abode, there are no supreme elements present anywhere else. If somebody claims to be able to give a soul salvation by doing some Hindu rituals like Narayan Bali or offering water or by reciting mantras, then it is a wrong thing to say and is not possible. By doing such rituals, it only temporarily removes the spirit from that area, which is done by controlling that spirit. However, later they come to the same place again, from where they were removed. Anantji says, Bapuji, there was one thing that was shared with me that said that if there is any spirit who died with any disease, like for example, AIDS or cancer, then when such spirits enter into any human body, the same disease is transmitted to the person in which they have entered. Is it true? Is this possible? Bapuji replies, yes, it is 100% correct and true. It is real, and the supreme truth. I will explain it to you. The person that died from cancer, well, their physical body is burned and finished, but the disease happens to first be in their subtle body. All diseases start in the mind, then it goes to the casual body. From the casual body, it goes to the subtle body, and from the subtle body, it goes to the physical body. I have said this and explained it in many videos, that because of our mind's weakness, the disease goes to the casual body. The soul who is in a ghost form, the casual body is within him, and their casual body is covered with the subtle body, and because of their karma, they are suffering with that disease. When the casual body and the subtle body of a ghost enters into any human, it transmits the disease from their casual body to the human's physical body they have possessed. The human will adopt all the characteristics that the spirit had when it was alive. The spirit then controls the body of the human. Anantji says there was one renowned person who was Muslim. He said that the person who has diseases like cancer has a jinn in their body. Is this true? Bapuji replies, yes, it is true. Anantji says, why? Isn't it that they have cancer because of their karma? Bapuji replies, well, it is his karma that the spirit has chosen to enter and possess their body. Why did the spirits or ghosts enter into that particular body? And what is the reason not to choose someone else's body? It is because the human has a connection with the spirit and has some karma with them. So the spirit enters and uses that specific human body. Anantji says, I saw one video of a girl who was from Dubai. She had her uncle's soul in her. It is a very famous video and has 33 lakhs of views. But I wanted to know the real story behind the scenes showcased. Bapuji replies, the souls who are weak become ghosts. They dwell near places of worship. They enter into the body of people who visit these places who are weak. These spirits see the aura of the humans. The souls who are weak have black auras. Powerful souls have golden auras. Souls who are creative in nature have blue auras. Ghosts cannot enter into such powerful souls. They choose to possess humans whose aura is black. The spirits have the power to see the aura since they have 3 elemental bodies. Therefore, when they see any weak souls with the black aura, they penetrate into that body. This is very much possible and I have seen it. Anantji says, Bapuji, Muslim people have a custom of reciting a mantra before going to the bathroom because they say there are jinns residing in the bathroom. Is this true? Bapuji replies, yes, it is true. I have had such experiences since childhood. My mother was the avatar of Jogini Devi, who was the goddess deity. Therefore, my mother showed me things since the time that I was a kid. During the days of the Durga Puja on the 8th day, it was said that there would be a habituation of a goddess in each and every leaf. There will be a presence of 84 Joginis in every leaf. We had a fork road crossroad near the fields. We were supposed to work in the fields late night at even 12 a.m. sometimes. There was a belief that on the 8th day of the Durga Puja, 84 Joginis would perform a dance. I used to go to that four-road crossroad and sit there to see them. I could see them for a moment. Even my father would tell me not to get scared if he sees any jinns on the banyan tree, which was near our fields from where we used to collect the grains and wheat. I used to tell my father, don't worry about me, you go. My father used to come late, and I was very small and young. I was probably in the 4th or 5th standard in school. I used to invite the spirits and ghosts to come talk to me. So in my childhood, I used to talk with a lot of spirits and ghosts. My father would quite often share with me places where ghosts and spirits were residing. There were so many places. When I was young in the 11th standard, one spirit of a Brahmani, who is a woman of a Brahmin caste, entered into my body. It was very difficult to take out. There is a long story behind this incident. I was weak and powerless, so the spirit was able to make a home inside my body. Then I understood and became alert. I learned to be in soul consciousness. So I had gotten spiritual knowledge since childhood. Anantji says, but you gained the knowledge of the infinite at a later stage in life, correct? Bapuji replies, yes, but the knowledge about the spirits and ghosts was there since childhood, and I knew that they can penetrate into your body too. When we were small, we were innocent. If you ask the spirits to come with you, you actually invite them to be with you. If you utter even the word come in the spirit's prone area, they come along with you. You have to be careful. It was said a Brahmani was fired alive in that area. Therefore, she became a ghost and was residing at that same place. I was passing through the same area with one of my friends that day, and I said out loud, come quickly, it's late. Due to saying this, the spirit of that Brahmani entered into my body. It was difficult to take her out. I had my own experiences, whether anybody believes me or not. Later on, the spirituality in me was developed more. In our villages, there were many people who were mediums, who would take out the spirit from the spirit-possessed people. I used to go to them and sit overnight with them. Since it interested me to know how and in which people's body the spirits would take, when I grew up and was in college, I had seen people around me who had become possessed by spirits. If you offered them what they wanted, like food, then they would leave that human's body. Anantji says, Bapuji, you once shared that when you were pursuing your CA, you went to some village and they offered you your desired meal. Bapuji replies, yes, that's correct. I was traveling towards a village called Saurashtra. I was accompanied by a person who was a practicing exorcist. He said today he would introduce me with a strange person. He was an aged man. It was a few kilometers ahead from the Morbi village. I forgot the name of the village. It is an old incident, talking about from 1988 to 1989. So we reached the place around 2 a.m. that night. It was a small village, and the old man had a hut that he lived in. He greeted us and asked us, "What would you like to eat?" I was amused inside. I thought, what will he serve us at this odd hour of 2 a.m.? The exorcist I came with was also a school principal in my village named Prajapati. He lived in Ranip. Wherever he would go to do an exorcism, I would accompany him because I would enjoy watching and experiencing such activities. So the exorcist said to the old man, "Can we have some cashew nuts, almonds, and pistachios?" I thought, how can this poor old man talk about offering almonds and cashew nuts? But he agreed to serve us this though. So the old man took a plate, put a handkerchief on it, and chanted some words or mantras. Within 4 to 5 minutes, a full plate of nearly 1 kg of almonds, cashew nuts, and pistachio nuts was in front of us. So we ate that. This was the first incident that I saw like this. Then he showed me a news in the newspaper that a marriage of a girl is going to be held, and for this occasion 2 bags of sugar is needed. And he said that for this he made 2 bags of sugar appear there for them. The police also used to visit him to solve theft cases. So he also solved theft cases. He would tell the police about the theft incident and about the thief. I once invited him to my house to know about the secret of his activities. Since childhood, I was researching on the Almighty Authority. Who is the Almighty Authority? What is the ghost world? I was familiar with such incidences since my childhood because the deity Jogini used to come into my mother's body, and my father would also narrate many stories of such cases. From childhood I was spiritual. I read the Ramayana and Mahabharata. I read the Bhagavad Gita when I was in the 5th standard. My school principal was a Brahmin and gave lectures on the Bhagavad Gita. So when I was in the 9th standard, I entered into his office and asked him, "Is the God from the Bhagavad Gita incorporeal or corporeal?" So even in the 9th standard, I knew that the Almighty Authority is in an incorporeal and corporeal form both. But I also had an interest in ghosts and spirits. So I invited that old man to my home. Then I asked him, "What will he treat us with today?" He said, "Today I will treat you with the dessert halwa from Mohan Sweets in Mumbai." Then he did the same thing in his hands with a handkerchief, and within 5 minutes a whole packet of 1 kg halwa sweets was there in front of me in my house. So I asked him, how did all of this happen? He said, "By doing this, a packet of this sweet is now 1 less over there in Mumbai in that dessert shop." He narrated his story of how he is able to do this. He said that, "My Guruji is 400 years old and lives in Girnar, a hilly area, and I served my Guruji for 40 years, so he gave me this mantra to be able to do this." I asked, "How does the mantra work?" He said the following: "Many souls of the subtle world assist my Guruji. These souls live there and follow his directions. So some of them came with me, and the moment I recite a mantra for any work, they follow the directions. Even if it is locked with a key, like jewelry, they bring whatever is desired." So that is what he told me. And when I read about spiritual knowledge, I came to know how things were taken out from something that is locked with a key. So vyakt means a physical thing of 5 elements, like gold or jewelry, and by their vibrations, the souls of the subtle world turn that thing into a non-physical thing, and then they change it into its physical form again. Scientists are also working on this now. Anantji says, if this is true, then why wouldn't they first take the Kohinoor diamond? Bapuji replies, they have some restrictions because that would be considered theft. Anantji says, but don't all deceitful people become ghosts? Bapuji replies, good ghosts also exist, and they do not let the negative ghosts do such things. For random sampling, you can do such things to show people. There was a magician called Kailash. I saw his magic, but I cannot disclose the secret of many magicians. They keep ghosts for their purpose to do such acts. Sometimes they change and create an illusion in the sights of the audience members. What they want to show is seen by the audience. What they are doing practically is actually hidden. Many also apply tricks for their magic acts. Anantji says there are two shows called Kal Kapal Mahakal on Z News and Mano Ya Na Mano on Star Plus. These episodes may be available on YouTube. In one of their episodes, a person consumed many bottles of wine and ate food in large quantities at one time, which is not possible for a normal human being. Curiosity arose in me, and I wondered, how can this be possible? Bapuji replies, I also watched Kal Kapal Mahakal, in which a person drank 2 bottles of liquor at one time. I saw in my state of deep meditation, and the Almighty Authority made me realize and showed me how this happens. He showed me, as per his wish, what the secret of magic is and how it is done. Similar incidences happened in my lifetime. When I was in college, I visited an exorcist to watch how he exorcised the victim. There was a lean, thin man, and a ghost had entered into him. The man asked for non-vegetarian food, but originally he was a pure Brahmin and never even touched non-vegetarian food before. He physically looked like a person with a normal diet, but on that day he ate 5 kg of non-vegetarian food along with 4 to 5 bottles of wine. So I saw all of these incidences practically. Ghosts feed themselves through other people. They consume the food through the mouth of the person itself. They do not even let the food go down. So all such incidences are very real. Anantji says it is like how alcohol is offered in Mahakal temples. Bapuji replies, yes, the soul of Mahakal has many ghosts with him who drink the alcohol. Anantji says, I was watching a video of TB Joshua in which it was shown that various people came to him that had souls of different animals entered into their bodies. Some had souls of snakes, some had souls of lizards, and some had souls of dogs. They were behaving like the animal that entered into their body. Is it possible that a soul of a dog can enter into a human body? Has the soul of a human downgraded to this extent? Bapuji replies, when a dog or a lizard dies, their soul wanders in the atmosphere. Similarly, souls of other animals also exist in the atmosphere. Anantji says, Bapuji, it is very sad that the humans are behaving like animals. Bapuji replies, the humans in which souls of animals can enter like this are very weak souls. Anantji says, I was shocked when I watched that video for the first time and thought that there is no value of human birth. They are in Jivyoni. Bapuji replies, in the Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned that those who live for themselves by only eating, drinking, then leaving their body are like animals. In such types of people, souls of animals can enter, and they can act like that animal. That is why it is written in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna said to be in soul consciousness, forget your body, and forget all relationships related to that body, and only remember me. Do this and I will eliminate all your sins. Anantji says, Bapuji, there is a man in Delhi who can fry fritters with his hands. It is not normal to put hands in hot oil. How can one do such an unnatural thing? Bapuji replies, wherever there is abnormal activity, surely there is a ghost working there. I also saw on TV that a person was frying food with his hands in hot oil. In this situation, a ghost enters into that person and makes the person able to do this. Anantji says, and Bapuji, this is being practiced in their family for generations. Bapuji replies, so there is a ghost with their family that helps them, and to get famous, they do such things. Their ancestors must be living in their houses with them as ghosts. Anantji says, earlier we made a video on superhumans in which you told us that all such actions are done by spirits or ghosts and not by superhumans. I want to know, what is the age of ghosts? Can ghosts become an animal? Bapuji replies, whatever the soul thinks about in its last moments before death is where it goes after its death. When a soul leaves its body with desires, it remains in that house. As a ghost, it watches everybody in the house. If any member goes against its principle and values, then the ghost gets disturbed. Then the ghost may appear in their dreams to instruct or demand for them to do a ritual for them, like Nara and Bali, for its liberation. But in reality, the soul does not get liberated even after doing the ritual. Also, ghosts can go to forests or other isolated areas to meditate. Anantji says they do this to go to higher dimensions. Bapuji replies, ghosts who live near temples are mostly good. They guide people. Anantji says, are ghosts also guided by their teachers? Bapuji replies, yes. Anantji says, like there was one sage, Narad Muni, he used to be able to travel to the 3 dimensions. He would come to earth to give guidance and messages and would return back to the higher dimensions. Bapuji replies, many souls come from Swarglok, Mahalok and above to give instructions and guidance to the negative souls. And they would also come to work for their better spiritual journey ahead. They meditate and perform austerity. Slowly, the soul gains power. If souls want, they can live for thousands of years. Anantji says there is a book called Parlok or Punarjanma. I read in this book a ghost lived for 2,000 years on a tree. Then the ghost wanted to take birth. Is that possible? Bapuji replies, yes, it is possible. They can live on a tree or in temples. They perform austerity and meditate in forests. Whenever they like, they go there. Or they try to take birth when they wish. Anantji says, if a person is alcoholic throughout his life, does his soul go to a bar after death? Bapuji replies, thoughts in the last moments of life will decide the future of the soul. If the soul is an alcoholic, it will drink alcohol by entering into somebody. Once I saw on TV that a ship with many passengers passed over a river that flowed through the city. Suddenly, a storm came and all the passengers on the ship died, and they all became ghosts. Near that place was a wine bar, and dead souls used to go there to drink. Many people witnessed their presence there, because ghosts would take their glasses of wine and drink. Ghosts can take food through another person's body, or they can take it directly. Anantji says, is it possible for all these ghosts to be seen on camera? Bapuji replies, presently, cameras are made up of 5 elements, and ghosts are in 3 elements. To take a picture of a ghost, you need a camera of 3 elements. That is why humans cannot see ghosts. However, ghosts can be viewed by those who have divine vision, and power in their soul to do so. In the future, such cameras will be invented. Anantji says, I wish, in future, there will be a machine to capture their image just like X-ray machines. Also, I wish we can know the memory of our many previous births. Bapuji replies, such cameras will be invented in the future. Pictures of the subtle world and the movement of subtle souls will be able to be viewed. Anantji says, I watched a video in which 2 dogs were fighting. One of them grabbed at the mouth of the other dog so tightly that many people had to try to free them by pouring water on them and even by beating the dog with a stick. But the dog does not let the other dog go. Can ghosts enter into animals as well? Bapuji replies, yes, they can enter into animals and into anybody. An incident occurred where a businessman's daughter married against her father's wish. Sometime later, her father died and became a ghost. In order to separate his daughter from her husband, he entered into his son-in-law's body and would beat his daughter so much that it resulted in a divorce between the two. There are many such incidents happening in the world. Anantji says, Bapuji, should we keep animals as pets in the house? Bapuji replies, the aura of a dog's soul or its subtle body is black. That is why dogs should be kept outside the house. Otherwise, its black cosmic will enter into your body and defect your aura. Always only allow those with a good aura into your house. Written in the Manu Smriti, there were rules laid down by Manu Shatrupa that lower castes were not allowed in the houses of Brahmins. According to the karma philosophy, lower caste people are those who have done great sin in their previous lives. They take birth in the low caste so that they can minimize the result of their bad karma by serving and helping. Powerful and good souls become Brahmins. They maintain the house's aura by doing discourses of God and divinity. They know very well that by allowing other people into their house, it will affect the aura of the house, as well as the aura of the family members living in that house. That is why saints or yogis of ancient times did not meet anyone. If anyone would go to meet them in their caves, his helper would rebuke and send the person away, because yogis very well knew that meeting anyone means transferring his energy or soul power into that other person. So they remain in a meditative state with closed eyes. Truthful or real yogis and Brahmagyani yogis who want to go directly to the supreme abode in an incorporeal state do not meet anyone outside their house. Anantji says, Bapuji, a meditation is done with open eyes in the Brahma Kumari organization. Is this right? Bapuji replies, the Brahma Kumari organization believe in the 5,000 years of world drama. Anantji says, is it right to meditate with open eyes? Bapuji replies, it is wrong. To be in soul consciousness, you should free your soul from the thoughts of this physical world. By remembering the incorporeal Shiv, power is received by the soul. Incorporeal Shiv lives in the supreme abode. The power that is received will flow out through your eyes if kept open. Anantji says, in the Brahma Kumari organization, vibration is given to others through the senior-most person there. Bapuji replies, I also took vibrations from them, but received nothing. Anantji says, in foreign countries, these types of people are known for having psychic powers. In one of the video interviews previously taken, I discussed a lady, Alison Dubois, and her experience about psychic powers. The name of that video is The Remote Viewing Secrets of Mediums /UFO. I request our viewers to watch that video. In foreign countries, it is not considered as bad. They call it psychic powers. But in India, it is taken as blind faith. There are various groups in the world that are working on enhancing psychic powers or the mind power. Are people getting relief from ghost problems in the Hanuman temples and churches? Are they really getting healed? Bapuji replies, there are ghosts in all religious places. If a devotee comes to their place of worship with a ghost inside their body, then the ghosts living at that temple or place of worship pulls the ghost out of their body by giving rays to it, and then they involve that ghost into their group. If a devotee seems to be from a well-to-do family, then ghosts also go to their home for good food, etc. I have told you that ghosts follow people home from the temples. You also received a phone call from someone in Qatar that said a ghost had entered into him. Anantji says yes. He was saying that after going to a place of worship, he was feeling something unnatural. Now, Bapuji, please show people the correct way to get relief from such ghost problems. Ultimately, we have to make our aura strong with the power of meditation. Strong souls remain safe from ghosts and spirits. Please tell us what should a person do to be on the safer side, because this world is filled with such ghosts. Bapuji replies, this problem exists not only in our solar system, but everywhere in the infinite solar systems. Wherever there are human beings and a physical world, there are spirits. So who will become a ghost? How will you save yourself and prevent yourself from becoming a ghost in the future? What do human beings become after death? There is already a video I have made called Life After Death on this subject. I request our viewers to watch it. If a spirit enters into your body, what should you do? The answer is develop and increase your soul's power. Souls undergo many births and accumulate sins, making the soul weak. Due to this, the casual body becomes black. All the recordings of sins and of good actions are recorded in the casual body. So you have to charge your casual body. If someone has a ghost inside their body, it means that their casual body is defected due to going through so many cycles of human births. Due to this, the soul loses its power. We call such souls as Tamopradhan. Tamopradhan souls have a black aura, and a ghost can enter into a body with a black aura. So how can you take out the ghost from the body? If you go to an exorcist, they temporarily take the ghost out of the body to make money. But after that, the soul will enter into that body once again. Anantji says, I have received several phone calls for such problems. I always recommend them to go to some exorcist or ghost specialist for such purposes. These people are so weak that they do not want to do meditation, austerity, and follow discipline in life, so how can anyone help them out? Bapuji replies, such people live a life to only eat, drink, sleep, and then die, just like the life of an animal. Such types of people become ghosts after death. But those who have knowledge of the soul and the Supreme Soul do not become ghosts after death. They know that they are a soul and not a body, and that the body is only an instrument for doing work. So one should go to good institutions where knowledge of the soul is given, and to gain some experience of the soul. One should also see the video I have made called The Secret of Yoga. Gain the knowledge of the Almighty Authority. Know the creator of Shiv is Mahashiv, and he is the controller or the owner of a galaxy. And the creator of Mahashiv is Paramahashiv, who is the controller of the universe. They are all in a subtle and in an incorporeal form. The Almighty Authority is the controller of trillions of multiple universes. He resides in the highest of the high supreme abode, in an incorporeal form like a sun. Supreme divine light radiates from him. Remember him as your supreme father or as your great-great-great-grandfather, because you are the creation of his creation. Remember him with positive feelings. To remember means to meditate. So connect with him. He is the powerhouse. Connection with him means that you will receive power from him. That power will charge your casual body. All your negative energy will be eliminated. All your karmic accounts with that ghost who has entered into your body will be dissolved. When the karmic bondage is finished, the spirit will go away on its own, because you did meditation and connected with the powerhouse, and your soul received power of supreme light. The soul will become powerful, and it will clear off all bad energy from your casual body. All bad energy will be destroyed by the power of meditation. Anantaji says, Bapuji, spirits enter into the body due to karmic bondages. Otherwise, they do not do this. Is that right? Bapuji replies, nobody speaks a word with another without the bondage of karma. So entering into somebody else's body is a very big thing, which will only occur when there is a very deep account of karma with that soul. The law of karma is accurate. If someone has an account of karma with a ghost, then it will enter the concerned body. It will not go into another person's body. Anantaji says, so that means that to make our soul powerful, we should remain in constant remembrance of the Supreme Father of the infinite worlds. There is no need to visit any deity, god or goddesses, sage, saints, etc. Is that right? Bapuji replies, who do gods and goddesses remember? How do gods and goddesses get power? When humans perform havans or rituals of sacred fire, they offer ghee or butter, sesame seeds, and chant holy words, and the smoke that emanates out of the fire is then accepted by the gods and goddesses. When no havans were done, the gods and goddesses would get disturbed due to not getting power from the havans. These gods and goddesses would also then become human beings. There are so many temples of different gods and goddesses. How can you get rid of your sins by remembering them? The knowledge of why and how humans become animal-like is required to know. Some humans have become like an animal or a jeev. They are not in soul consciousness, but act like an animal. It is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that those living for themselves are animals, and those who do not know me, the Almighty Authority, are also animals. So gain the knowledge of me. First, gain the knowledge of being in soul consciousness. Know yourself. Know that you are a soul. The soul lives in the center of the forehead. Forget your body and the relatives to your body. While being in soul consciousness, only remember me, the Supreme Soul. Do this and I will eliminate all your sins. Connect with the Supreme Soul, who is the powerhouse, and your soul will get power from it. When the soul gets power, the casual body also gets charged, and all the bad karma and negative energy will be removed. And the ghost will go away automatically. Your aura will change from black to golden. When the subtle body gets charged, the aura becomes golden. No spirit or ghost will enter into a golden aura because they can realize that the soul is powerful. Anantaji says, if our ancestors are disturbing us, what prayers should we do for their peace, liberation, and journey towards the higher dimensions? Bapuji replies, if your ancestors are living with you or anywhere else, give them knowledge. Switch on the TV when such shows of divine knowledge is telecasting. Play our YouTube videos, call your ancestors and ask them to watch this video of knowledge. You can also give them knowledge by saying, "Dear ancestor, be seated in front of me and listen to this knowledge." Tell them that they are a soul and that they should remember the Supreme Father. Then, in their subtle body, that soul will receive knowledge and uplift themselves. Anantji says, "Very true, Bapuji. Up to the 13th day of death, the scripture, Garud Puran, is preached to the soul that has passed. The soul listens and gains the knowledge to be able to free themselves from all attachments and to move towards the higher dimensions." Can we also give them knowledge through thoughts by remembering and calling them? Bapuji replies, "Yes. A very long time ago, a mother came to meet me because her young son had died of suicide. I advised her to play my videos of knowledge and to place her son's photo there in front of her, because her son was still living in that house. He had not gone anywhere else. I told the mother to show him my videos. The son was also sad like she was. I told her to tell him to listen to this knowledge and to do good karma. She played my videos of knowledge for 2 to 3 months. She played our old videos called How to Get Powerful Thoughts and How the Soul Gets Power, how one can do meditation, as well as videos about the Almighty Authority. Her son saw all these videos. After 6 months, she came to me in a good condition. She said, 'Now I feel my son has gone.' So after getting knowledge and power, the soul can take its next birth or move on to higher dimensions." Anantji says, "This occurred after the mother's attachment with the son was gone." Bapuji replies, "The mother received knowledge. I made her understand that her son is as depressed as her in this condition. Her sadness decreased after listening to this knowledge. The mother and the son watched many knowledgeable videos. After understanding this knowledge, the soul of her son gradually moved on to higher layers to the 3rd dimension." Anantji says, "There was a video on YouTube in which the souls of the ancestors came through the radio. Through the radio, ancestors communicated with their relatives. Although the radio was not connected with electricity, scientists did research on that radio. Relatives of the deceased souls came there to contact their ancestors and communicate with them through this radio. The voice was not very clear, but relatives were sure that the voice was of their deceased ancestor. Today, there are many technological devices available. There is an Indian Paranormal Society in Delhi. The videos of this society have been uploaded on YouTube. I request my viewers to watch these kinds of videos to know what is going on in the world. We have to live with open eyes and an open mind. We have to understand this knowledge because it is the supreme ultimate knowledge." Bapuji replies, "Nowadays, the desire to earn money by any means and showmanship is prevailing in the world. People are not interested to know about their soul or the knowledge of the Supreme Soul. By visiting temples, unknowingly they bring ghosts back home with them. So remember the Almighty Authority. He is the ultimate powerhouse." Anantji says, "Everybody should believe in the Supreme Soul and in the law of karma." Bapuji replies, "Believe in your karma, along with the knowledge of how to eliminate bad karma. Know how to purify the soul, know how to get relief from sins, and know how to charge your casual body. Watch our video titled Casual Body or Karan Sharir." Anantji says, "Bapuji, your book called Greater Life After Death has released, in which you have explained many secrets. Bapuji, we thank you very, very much for the answers you have given us. I request all of our viewers to like and share this video of Bapuji if you enjoyed it. This video is also available in Hindi. The link is in the description box below. Thank you. Paramshanti."